Hello, welcome to the It's Raining Crafts podcast, episode 20. My name is Raina. Today is April 26, 2016. I know this because this is primary day in Pennsylvania for the presidential election. And it's happening in I think 4 other states, but I went and I voted this morning. It was one of the very first things that I did, and it's not that far from where I live. My polling place. I just walk across the street, up a little hill, and it's there. So I hope you all are doing well. This is episode 20. I'm doing this without any show notes today. What has been going on? Last week I had a teacher meeting with my son's preschool teacher, and he's doing very, very well, and she is very, very proud of him. You know, he's very smart, and he's very much like my husband, so he does what he wants, and he doesn't always get to do what he wants, but he's one of those kids, you know. It's like, okay, it's time to go do this. And then he's like, okay, well, I'll go do it. But then I have to get back to this. And it's like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. So, and what else? So I am just knitting, and I thought that I would just podcast today because I haven't put one out in a couple weeks. So, let's get to my knitting. The first project that I'm working on are a pair of vanilla socks for my best friend Natalie. Natalie's dog. I call her my doggy niece. Neri has congestive heart failure, and she's only like a little bitty chihuahua. So Natalie had a scare a few weeks ago, and Neri had to stay overnight, and she was devastated. So I decided to make her a pair of socks. So this is her sock, one of her socks. The other is in the living room because it's still being knitted on. I did 10 rows, 2x2, 32 rows, and then I did a heel flap and a turn and a gusset. So went down to 64 stitches, and I knit the foot until I hit 7. So this is it was about 40 rows because I'm doing it on size 1.5 needles for her. She has smaller feet than I do. So I just took the recipe that I used for my mother-in-law, and sorry about that. And I did that, and I used that. So after I get done with the toe decreases and put them on the double points to graft them, I will have my mother-in-law try them on before I send them to her. Make sure that they fit, because they are almost the same exact shoe size. So the next project that I'm working on, I had to take a little break over the weekend. I had my teacher meeting, and then I spent the night at the in-laws because I need to get out of the house. And when you're a stay-at-home mom, I'm sure that you understand how it goes. You know, you're clean. Well, I'm knitting, I'm watching TV, and I do a little bit of house cleaning here and there, but my place is not immaculate because I have a 5-year-old. So I casted on my Sweet Georgia socks that I got from my Fiber Easter Club this month. This is her. Where did I put the tag? Oh, pardon me. This is Sweet Georgia yarn in the bulletproof sock colorway. It's 50 merino, 20 nylon, 15 silk, and 15 kid mohair. And it's the color gelato. So I'm making Hermione's everyday socks like everyone else. So it's a cream and it has a pastel blue and purple and orange. It looks like gelato. So I did the ribbing, and this is what it looks like so far. So it looks like a mustache. Who was I watching yesterday? That did it. Oh, it was Kristen from Vine Yarns. Yeah, she did that. And so I only did the ribbing. I knew that I would be done with Natalie's sock almost. So I did that. And I took this over the weekend. Took a break from the socks because I usually work on size 3.25 millimeter needles. For my socks, I'm not used to the 1.5s. And I have to be careful because I drop stitches very easily on those needles. I don't know if it's because the needle is more slippy, or I'm just like more tense because I'm working with the size 1.5 needles. But next project that I pulled out for was my Regia. Pulled out my Regia because while I'm working on patterned socks, I'd like to have a vanilla sock to work on. So this is the Regia Neon Flower colorway. It's greens and purples and pinks. Now, a few months ago, I knit with this yarn for my mother. They're in a Christmas box down below my desk. And these ones are going to be for me. So we have matching socks. Won't that be cool? Well, Natalie and I will have matching socks too because I have yellow socks out of the same yarn that I'm knitting with hers. So, I'm working on that, and I like to work on my socks in tandem, so I split the yarn ball into 250-gram skeins, and I cast it on 64 stitches on each needle, so it would be easier for me to work on. I put it in 2 different project bags so I could keep the yarn ball separate. But the next thing that I'm working on is my sweater. Now, I keep moving along on this project. I'm so proud of myself because I put it on the other night. And it looks more like a shrug now, but now that I know that I'm knitting for length and I have that mental picture. Before I was just like knitting and knitting and knitting, and I couldn't figure out what it would look like on me. So last Tuesday, the night before, my mother-in-law and I went to knitting with Lisa at the yarn store. I put it on because we were going to knit with her for a few hours on the following day. So I put it on, and it looks more like a shrug. It's It comes down halfway my back. It comes down my back halfway, and it comes right underneath my breast. So, and it looks. I love it. It looks very chic. But this is what it looks like so far. This is what it looks like in the top. And then I have my nails at the bottom. And I put my sweater on at my in-laws so my mother-in-law could see what it looked like on me, because I took a picture, but the picture wasn't very good because my living room is not the brightest room in the house, and you could only see. So I wanted her to actually pull it down in the back so I could see what it would look like. And it looks nice. It looks very nice on me, and I have another skein in my basket because I'm going to be soon joining the other skein. I'm thinking 2 more skeins. 2 more skeins, maybe 3, and then I will work on the sleeves. But I've been following a lot of people on Instagram who've been knitting the calligraphy cardigan by Hannah Fettig. It's beautiful. It has this big wide collar, ribbed collar, and then you make a button band, and it buttons down the front. And I saw it. I'm like, that's my next sweater. So this is my incentive. My incentive is to get this sweater done before I cast on that sweater, because I don't have enough yarn for another sweater yet. So that will be in the future. That's a future project. I'm working off no notes today. So anyway, and then my son pulled out yarn. He likes to pull out yarn and give it to me and tell me to take it home. Or he tells me to knit something with it. So I have this ball of yarn. It's Caron Simply Soft in the gray and gray. It's like a light gray. So it was a big hot tangled mess. So my mother-in-law and I, a couple days, when I was at her house, we would tackle it. We would try to untangle it. Anyway, my father-in-law untangled the rest for me. Thank you. Because my in-laws are the best people. I could not have married into a better family, because they're awesome. And there's no tension. We all get along, and that's what the teacher said. She's like, Kellen comes in and he's so happy. He says good morning, and he goes to the table and he plays until we start class, and he gets along with all the kids, and he listens to the teachers, and I just could not be any more proud of my little boy. And he's starting kindergarten in the fall. Oh, so the next thing that I am going to work on, well, I don't have the project with me right now. I do have a skein of yarn. Is my son, the hat that I knit for him, he wore it so much it fell apart. So I'm going to knit him a couple hats out of this Red Heart Soft. So he's going to Catholic school in the fall, and his uniform is going to be navy blue. And he likes to wear blue, but his favorite color is yellow. So I am going to knit him a bankhead hat and a barley hat out of this Red Heart Soft. I have brighter blue. It's like they call it royal blue. But that I am working on that. I just rolled the skein up today. But I am working on my Mother's Day project for my mother. Over the weekend I was working on it, and time-wise I was like, okay, I can have this done. It'll be sent out. We'll send it out. She'll have it in time for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is in 2 weeks. So on Sunday I was working with the yarn, and I was about halfway done, and the yarn broke. Now, I don't have the project with me. It's in the living room. It's quite far to go to the living room from here. So, this is the yarn. It's Red Heart Midnight in the brocade colorway. So, I made one of those shawls before. It's called the Dewdrop Shawl. And that's what she wanted for Mother's Day. So, luckily I had bought 2 skeins because I had half a skein, and I was using the half a skein because I was going to join the 2 new skeins with it when I got to the point. But the yarn broke, and I'm like, I am not fixing this. This won't go right. Let's just start over. So now she won't have it for Mother's Day, but she'll get it after, because if I really push myself and do 20 rows a day, like, because she wants it long. She wants it long enough that she can wrap it around. But I don't think that it's going to work. If I put myself on a time crunch, then I don't finish it. So I am going to do 10 rows a day until I reach, so the next 6 days I will do 10 rows a day. That'll come out to 120 wraps on the shawl, and then it'll be done next week. Because when I put deadlines on my projects, then I really feel the pressure of not finishing it. So, what else is going on? Let's see. My birthday's in a couple weeks. So, I will be celebrating my birthday. My mother usually comes in for my birthday, but she's coming in June instead of May this year, because she wants to be there for my son's preschool graduation, and being that it's her only grandson, I can understand that. because she's not getting any more grandchildren. So, and then, so we have a surprise trip for Cal. We're going to take him up to Hershey, which is 2 hours north of here, and we're going to spend the night at a hotel. He likes spending nights in hotels. Because when you're 5, why not, you know? And we're going to take him to Hershey Park. So, other than that, not too much else is going on here. I wanted to go to Maryland Sheep and Wool, but it's Mother's Day weekend, and Mother's Day weekend in my in-laws' family means it's bakery weekend. My sister-in-law has a bakery here in Red Lion, and she hosts like high tea for Mother's Day, and it's one of her busiest weekends of the year. So I can't go down to Maryland and enjoy myself without helping my sister-in-law, because she's always a big help too with Cal and with anything that I need. And I barely get to see her because she's so busy anymore. But anyway, I hope that should be it for now. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and happy knitting. Bye-bye.